This video is to go through the 11-1 work together. So in this first step, it says that we're going to journalize transactions for Evans equipment during December of the current year. Use page 12 of the general journal. Source documents are abbreviated. So we have two transactions that we need to journalize. On December 5th, it says that we bought office supplies on account from Payable Corporation. So we only have one choice for our journal. I'm going into my general journal. I'm going to start with my date, December 5th. Oops. And I bought office supplies, so I am going to debit supplies -office. If we aren't sure of our account name, we could look at our chart of accounts, and here it is, supplies office. My source document is M57, and I'm debiting for $532. I'm then going to credit accounts payable / Milam Corp for $532. Now in the book, it does show us that we would draw that line through the post reference. I do wish that we are able to do that because it helps us then to remember when we're going to post that we are posting twice. We're posting that credit to accounts payable and again to Milam Corp. All right, December 7th. I'm going to put in the date right away. It says that I returned merchandise to Griffin Incorporated 248, debit memorandum 32. So since I returned merchandise to Griffin Incorporated, that means that I don't owe them as much money anymore. So I'm going to debit accounts payable / Griffin Incorporated. My source document is DM32 and debit for 248. I'm then going to credit purchases, returns, and allowances. Remember, it doesn't matter if it's a return or if it's an allowance, it still goes to the same account. I'm going to grade step 1. Next step. So step number 2 says we're going to post each general journal entry to the accounts payable and general ledgers. Entries that require more than one posting reference in a single journal line must be separated by a / with no spaces. So normally I would just start on that first line, but they actually don't tell us this in the directions, but we really should start with posting to our accounts payable ledger first. And so what that means is I'm going to be posting to my vendors first. So here is where I see my first vendor. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go put that / into my post reference column right away. And that tells me that I'm posting this credit 2 times. So I'm looking at my vendor, and my vendor is this Milam Corp. So I'm going to go to my accounts payable ledger to Milam Corp. I'm going to put in my date of the 5th. I don't need to write December because it's already listed up here, so I don't need to put it again. The item column is going to stay blank. My post reference, I'm going to use G12, G for general journal, 12 for page 12. I'm then going to look at if it's a debit or a credit. So I'm going to look at these 2 columns. I see that I have a credit of $532. So I'm going to put that in. And then I need to find my new balance. I have a credit and a credit, so I'm going to add those 2 numbers together. My new balance then is a credit balance of $1,975. And then I'm going to bring that vendor number 250 up to my post reference. It's going to stay as red, and that's just showing that I'm not done posting that line yet. The next vendor that I see is this Griffin Incorporated. So again, I'm going to start with that / and Griffin Incorporated. The date is the 7th. Item column blank. Post reference G12. I'm going to look up here to see if I have a debit or a credit. I'm debiting that account for $248. I have a credit and then a debit, so that tells me that I'm going to subtract. My new balance then is $710, and my account number 220 is going to go back to my post reference. Now that I've posted to my vendor accounts, to my accounts payable ledger, now I'm going to start back up at the top and I'm going to post to my general ledger accounts. So first one, I'm looking to the left. The account name is Supplies Office. So I'm going to find Supplies Office. I'm starting with the date of the 5th. Post reference is G12. Then I'm going to look and see I have a debit of $532. I have a debit and a debit, so I'm going to add. My new balance then is a debit of $3,480. My account number 1145 will go back up. Now this, since I have that slash there, I need to look at the account in front of that slash. So accounts payable is where I'm going to go next. The date is the 5th, post reference G12. And then this time I have a credit of $532. I have a credit and a credit. So again, I'm going to add. My new balance is $9,025.5. And account number 2110 will go in front of that slash. And then it turns to black, showing that I am done posting that one. Okay, same thing like I did on this one. I need to look at the account in front of the slash. So it's again, accounts payable. The date is the 7th, G12. This time when I look, I have a debit of $248. I have a credit and a debit, so I'm going to be subtracting. My new balance then is a credit balance of $8,777.5. Account number 2110 will go back up in front of that slash. Last one then, I'm posting to my purchases, returns, and allowances. The date is the 7th, G12, and I have a credit here of $248. I have a credit and a credit, so I'm going to add. My new balance then is $4,442.6. Account number 5130 will go back up. Once I see that my post reference column is completely filled in, that tells me that I am done posting that page of my journal. So I'm going to say grade, final step. Everything looks good. And we can save and continue. You can now complete the 11-1 on your own.